everybody! Welcome back to my channel. Haven't posted a video in a while. That's because I've been trying to catch up on my reading because my TBR list for this summer is quite long. And yeah. Also, I've been doing a lot of stuff with my friends lately, so I haven't had a lot of reading time, so long TBR list plus little reading time equals bad situation. But today I have a review discussion-y wiggly fingery thingy for you, for your viewing pleasure or displeasure. Hopefully not displeasure. But today I'm going to be talking about the book The Looking Glass Wars by Frank Beddor. Do you love my lovely invisible book? Yes, I actually had to bring my copy of this book back to the library because there was a hold on it, and I didn't get a chance to film a video of it, of my thoughts about it before I had to bring it back. So unfortunately I have to do it without the book, but I think we can deal. Looking Glass Wars. Before I started reading it, I was like, I was interested, but I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I really want to read this. Like, I have never been a huge Alice in Wonderland fan. Like, this book is an Alice in Wonderland retelling, or kind of like a spin on it. So I found the concept interesting, but I've never actually been a huge fan of Alice in Wonderland. Like, I don't mind it, obviously, or else I wouldn't have read the book, but it's not one of my favorites. So I wasn't sure how I was going to like the book. Also, I've never really read any, like, direct retellings. Like, I think the closest that I've read to a retelling would be, like, the Cinder series, and that's, like, a really, really loose retelling, like, barely, just only a few components are actually from the fairy tales themselves. So that's about as close as I've gotten to a retelling in my reading past. And I've actually never heard of an Alice in Wonderland retelling before, so that kind of caught my eye, because it seems to me that they're becoming more and more prominent kind of in like the YA genre, like with I think is there one called Splintered, I think, yeah, which is another one I want to read because I think it's more like modern. Which The Looking Glass Wars was actually based in like the 1800s, so that was kind of time frame that I think Alice in Wonderland was set in. Another thing that caught me right away that I liked was the different spelling of Alice. Instead of A-L-I-C-E, it's A-L-Y-S-S, which I thought was pretty cool because I like it when people spell names differently. And yeah. Once I started reading, I found it to be quite slow at the beginning. And I almost didn't want to keep reading. Like, there were times where like, it was kind of like a chore to read at times, and I was like, I don't really want to read it right now. But I pushed through, and it did get better by the end. More kind of fast-paced, more things happening. But it spans a lot of years, so it's not, there's obviously going to be some times where not much is going on, or like very little, like as soon as Alice goes into the real world, it's just like normal everyday life kind of things. One part I did really like was that the retelling wasn't completely like strict to the original. Like there was no actual White Rabbit, it was just the Tudor Bibwit Hart, I think that was his name. Just like rearranged can make the words White Rabbit. So I thought that was cool, and I thought it was cool that the original Alice in Wonderland story is actually, the way that Frank Beddor kind of wrote the book is that the original Alice in Wonderland story is actually a retelling of his book. So I thought that was kind of cool because it's kind of like bookception or something like that. It's like instead of his book being the retelling of the original is actually a retelling of his book. So I thought that was kind of cool, the way that he got one of Alice's like acquaintances to write the book based on what she had said about her life. So I thought that was kind of cool. And another thing that I thought was kind of interesting, which I'm not actually sure if this exists in the actual book because I haven't read the entire Alice in Wonderland book, and I haven't read the Through the Looking Glass, which is another one by Lewis Carroll. the crystal continuum was an interesting twist, because I know that there's obviously through the looking glass, but they use like the looking glasses or mirrors as like a form of transport in the looking glass world, so I thought that was interesting. I didn't really find the characters terribly relatable. I mean, I don't know, it was just something about, I just felt kind of removed from the emotional side of the story. Like, there was lots of action and lots of stuff going on, especially near the end of the book, and it definitely was interesting. I just didn't feel kind of like an emotional attachment to the characters, even when like the queen dies and the king dies at the beginning. Like, you don't really get a sense of like the relationships a whole lot, and even Alice's relationship with Dodge. Like, as children, we see them playing and stuff, and there's like the one dancing scene, but it's kind of like I would like more development of relationships, I think, and yeah, I just didn't feel the emotions in this book that much, and I don't know. I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars because I think that while it was a good retelling of the original story, first of all, like I said at the beginning, I'm not a huge fan of Alice in Wonderland to begin with, so it wasn't like slam dunk amazing book, like just because of the content, like I said before, the emotional side of things. I didn't really feel I relate to the characters that much, but it did have a good plot and an interesting twist, and the kind of bookception thing where the original is actually a retelling of this book, which I thought that was probably the most interesting part of this book for me, in my opinion. So yeah, so that's why I gave it a 3 out of 5 star. If you've read this book, let me know down in the comments what you thought of it and what you rated it on Goodreads, or if you have Goodreads, then add me as a friend. My Goodreads will be down below there. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and comment, subscribe, and be awesome, and yeah, and I should go read some more because I have to finish a book in like 2 days that I just started, because it needs to go back to the library and it has holes on it, so I should go do that. So I'll talk to you later. Bye!